Oh, here we go.
Good evening everyone and welcome to round 5 of the Trackstars Porsche Cup, where we are live from the Autodromo de Interlagos. We're just starting a 10-minute qualifying session. I'm joined here tonight by my co-commentator, also known as Disappointed. Hey mate, how are you going today?
Yeah, not too bad, Long day of work today. Nice to see we can watch nice night of the Porsche Cup.
Yeah, it's certainly shaping up to be a very exciting 3 races tonight. Well, actually 4 if you include the combined final between the Trackstars races and the Pit Lane Esports races that we'll see later on tonight.
Yeah, it's a new format we got going on here with joining the Pit Lane Esports, but the team I drive for actually. But yeah, it'll be good to see the top drivers of both come together and see who will be the outright fastest of tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure that will be very hotly contested, especially with a bit of cash on the line as well, as we follow along with our Pro Class Series leader, Diswood, who's now rounding the final corners, about to start his first flying lap of qualifying. Now
Yeah, he's, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're all good.
He's one to watch there, but also, if you look down in 6, we've got Mr. Deadpool joining us as well. Let's see if he can put that Porsche on the front row and give Woodsy a bit of a battle up there. We know he's strong in the touring cars, but we'll see how he goes tonight.
Yeah, Deadpool's certainly very fast over one lap in the touring cars, and he also joined us for a round of the Porsche Cup last year at Laguna Seca, and he was very fast over one lap there, but just couldn't quite string the whole race together, as we see Diswood heading down to turn 4 now, 23 flat in the first sector, taking turn 4 very nicely and building up that speed through turn 5.
Yeah, you got to watch on the exit there at turn 4. You might run a bit wide and then cop a half-second penalty, which I did in practice of the Formula Series for this weekend. But it'd be good to see how these drivers go around here, because I tell you this much, it is not easy to drive a Porsche around this track.
No, it's very much a challenge. It's a very technical track and a lot of passing opportunities around the place as well.
Yeah, it's going to be good, and obviously we got some new names in here from obviously Harsman Wood from your team. We got Whip Attack as well, and then PX7 Twitchy, and just from racing with Twitchy in some open lobbies, I know he's probably one to watch out for. And we got, is that Bjorn's Undies as well?
Yeah, very interesting name there. Bjorn Borg's Undies, obviously paying tribute to the Swedish tennis player. So as we see Diswood coming across the line now for his first flying lap, and it'll be a 1 minute 30.6, so not a bad time so far, but Twitchy goes fastest with a 1:30.2. Let's see what Deadpool's got up his sleeve as he's come across the line, only 5th fastest.
Yeah, that's surprising to hear. And I'll see in the comments here, Vale Lamb. Let me know if it's not big enough. It's not big enough. Not loud enough, because then I'll change some headset. But yeah, it's good to see that a lot of these times are going to be close, and we got Spud here in second, and then Deadpool trying to hit the slipstream as Spud lets him go past.
Yeah, so it looks like Spud's backing off for his second lap, but yeah, the 2 It's Racing eSport cars are 5 and 6 at the moment, and we've got 2 CP Motorsports drivers in 3rd and 4th, so very interesting how close the two teammates are to each other on both occasions.
Yeah, the team's champion. Unfortunately, there isn't a team's championship in this. It would be good if there was, but we are missing the good old Ponce as Woodsy here just goes purple by, what is that, 5 thousandths of a second there?
Yeah, that's right. So this will be one to watch as he heads down the main straight now, takes the final 2 curves. We'll see how much liberties he takes with the track limits. I know you can sort of cut that a bit. Here we go, he's coming across the line. Improves the second, but still not quite enough for pole position, still 1/10 off. As Bjorn Borg's Undies moves up to 5th place on the timesheets as well.
mate. It's a tongue twister to say, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I'd try and say a few tongue twisters, but I think I'd end up tongue twisted myself.
It's certainly a lot different on the other side of the screen rather than racing to be commentating, but I see how Adam feels every day. Sorry, every time he races, not races, commentates. See, it's been a long day of work, mate. I'm glad I'm not racing.
Yeah, you do have to admire the work that Adam puts in to his commentary, and it's certainly no easy gig for him to do, as we both know firsthand. As we follow along with Deadpool coming through the second set, getting a bit of a slide going there, so that might cost him a bit of time on this lap. As he's dropped down the 7th as Mountain Goat's up into the top 5 with a very fast lap. And there's Hasmamood
spinning. Oh, that was a good caught on camera there.
Oh no!
What is going on?
He's got him basically parked himself in the middle of the road, and unfortunately GTTC Heathster's just come along and collected him, so that's probably ruined his lap time there. As this Wood's now gone to the top of the charts with a 1:30.166, we've just missed that.
We did just miss that, and we've seen, I noticed on the side there, Bjorn's jumped up into 3rd place there in between Twitchy and Spud. Oh, Spud cops a half a second penalty there. Just as simple as that, you can cop a half a second penalty and that'll ruin your lap.
Yeah, very, very easy to do around here, and especially those first S's. It's a very trouble spot for copping penalties around here, and it's very easy to take that too much of the curb, and yeah, you just find yourself having to back off. So let's see what this Wood does here, because I think if he crosses the line with that penalty still above him, the next lap time won't count either.
Yeah, so if he doesn't burn that, the next lap time won't count, which means he'll then probably only have, if he gets across the line, 1 more lap to go. But luckily with these guys there's no damage on, so that might keep these guys out of trouble. But I know for myself, you can't push these cars around, you kind of got to just let them slide through the corners with that mid-engine rear-wheel drive. But these cars do sound really beautiful, and I hope the GT7 has the new GT3 Cup cars in it, because they are beautiful.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of variations of the Porsche 911 out there, and I know this one is commonly used in the GT Endurance class that you see at Le Mans, but yeah, of course a GT3 version of these cars, or even the Carrera Cup version, would be a very handy addition into the game.
Yeah, well, these are the actually the Carrera Cup cars, the 911 GT3 Cup cars. So these guys race along obviously in the Intercontinental GT series. We got the Lambos in there, Lambos, Audis, stuff like that, and then the good old Porsche Carrera Cup. And let me tell you from experience, you don't want to be on the pit wall when they start to go racing, because they are ear-piercing. They are so loud, it is ridiculous.
Yeah, I have sat on the grandstands and for a few Porsche Carrera Cup races, and they're very interesting to listen to and very much ear-piercing.
Yeah, just follow Hasmamood here. Seems like he's having a bit of trouble in the Porsche. We see him strong in the TS2 series, but not looking as strong. But obviously qualifying is obviously in this one 10-minute kind of sprint, but really like a one-lapper where your race is 2 short races with obviously a reverse grid in there, then followed by a longer race at the end, which anyone can win. And if you can't start these things, you'll end up at the back by the first corner.
Yeah, it's definitely an art starting these, and of course we should remember Hasmamood has been racing with the TS2 series, so slightly less competition there, but he's certainly holding his own, because he's a 10th up on his teammate Deadpool, and Deadpool's certainly no slouch in these cars.
Yeah, it's something else racing Deadpool, I tell you this much. As we see, Twitchy just jumped to the top there with the 29.6.
Yeah, like so first car in the 29s.
Oh, he's got it by .4, so he'll definitely be one to watch out for as Woodsy starts his final lap now.
Yeah, let's
what he
see if
goes to on the
has
first
response
sector.
here.
Oh, up by .086.
He's nearly a tenth faster on the first sector, so there is some scope for improvement through the final two sectors, but let's see what happens here. He takes that corner nicely.
He's
No slide
really,
at all.
really smooth. That was beautiful to watch. No slide into this corner. Nice exit out of there. And as I just spot on the left-hand side there, we've got Deadpool coming up as well. He's into 5th.
Yeah, I did notice that. At the end he just popped himself inside the top 5, so strong performance there, but of course we still have a number of cars yet to finish their lap. I think Deadpool's going to be, not Deadpool, Diswood's going to be the first one to finish amongst this very closely bunched group of cars here. Let's see what time he produces.
What Woodsy can do here, because we all know that Woodsy can pull anything out of his butt, and he's done it before, and I won't be afraid to see him do it again, as he doesn't beat his time as well as Bjorn Borgs is up into 3rd. Pupper's going slow, not sure what he's doing. Maybe a Sunday drive out there as Mountain Goat comes up in 8th. Blue Rock's in 9th. That's surprising down there. I thought he'd be a little bit further up the field there.
Yeah, so it looks like everyone's all but finished with this. As the clock winds down on the session. So there we go, qualifying's complete, and it's PX7 Twitchy who will be on pole with a fast time of a 1:29. I think he was the only driver out of the entire field to get through to into the 1:29s. And then we've got Diswood joining him on the front row. Bjorn Borgs Undies and then Spud P666 on row 2. And Deadpool and V Papa AT on row 3 as we're set to go racing here in race 1 of the Porsche Cup here at Interlagos. And we are underway. And it's P67 Twitchy who moves straight across the track right away trying to defend Diswood, but he looks like Diswood's got the inside, but Twitchy still manages to hold strong on the outside and will get the inside for the next corner. But yeah, Diswood right on the tail coming through turn 3, trying to take wide line and carry as much momentum as possible. Tucked in the draft here as they come down to turn 4. Let's see what Diswood manages.
There. Oh, what can do? Oh, what's he going on here? As he takes he's on the outside for the next turn.
Yeah, this will play into N-Spud's hands here. He can duck down the inside as well.
He's the reigning champion of the Porsche Cup, and there's a reason why he's the reigning champion.
Yes, as he gets himself down the inside of Diswood into turn 8 there. So nice gaggle of cars here, as I think. Who was that? That was Mountain Goat, just pushes N-Spud a bit wide there. So they're all nose to tail, heading through to the 3rd sector on lap 1 as Twitchy just starts to edge out an advantage as we get towards the end of the first lap.
This is some intense stuff to watch, man. I tell you, it's different on the other side of the screen. As Twitchy's starting to get a little bit of a gap there to Woodsy, but I can see that time coming down really, really slowly, so Woodsy might have taken a better line out of there, and looks like he's in enough slipstream. We'll see if we can catch him by turn 1.
Yeah, of course, Woods getting in that draft there as we right on board with him heading into turn 1. Just not quite enough to get down the inside there, but if you can set himself up well through these sections of S's, he could really get himself in the slipstream, maybe make a dive down here.
Looks like we've got a 5 or 6 way battle for the front?
Yeah, it looks 5 cars by the looks of things. So we've got Twitchy, Diswood, Mountain Goat, N-Spud P666 and Papa AT all in the top 5, all nose to tail, competing for the lead position. So this is very much like the St. Croix race at at the end of last year where there was about 5 or 6 of us all battling over second position.
Yeah, I'd like to not remember that St. Glory race, but yeah, I did join late in that series, and then I was up the front, and then coming into one of the last corners, someone decided to make a idiot decision to make a really late dive up the inside, and I was the only one to cop the wrath of that. Ended up in the sand, and I go from, I think it was third or fourth, all the way back to the back, 15 seconds behind the leader, or it was even further. But if you get a hang of these cars and put your head down, you can certainly be fast.
Yeah, I don't remember who did that dive bomb. Just escaping the memory, I think.
Yeah, it's escaping the memory, but I do remember the situation that happened. But I'd like to not, but I did fight my way back, I believe, to 7th, I think it was, and I was already 6 seconds behind last. So
yeah, as we get back to the racing here, it looks like big battle on for position 3 between Mountain Goat, Papa and Spud, all running nose to tail here through turn 4 and up into turn 5. Well, actually turn 6, sorry. So this might be one of the battles that we have to watch closely, as I'm sure they're bound to swap positions at various points in the race.
I think all Spud needs to do here is just wait for Papa to make a move on Mountain Goat, and then just kind of slip up the inside up there.
Yeah, here comes that move now as Papa moves down the inside. Executes that perfectly. Just a little bit of a rub on the way out, and it unsettles Mountain Goat's momentum, but still very much a clean move there. As Spud will be looking to do something similar, but might even be aiming for 3rd place here with Papa running wide out of that last corner.
Yeah, it's nothing unusual for a bit of rubbing and racing. It's always good when you can rub up against someone and still come out together and not spin each other. So it's nice to see these boys giving each other space. As Mountain Goat takes another move down on Papa, and then puts Spud a bit closer. As Papa makes a slide and Spud goes around the outside here. Will he have the run to get onto Mountain Goat down to the end of this into turn 3?
Yeah, well, he's made the move stick around the outside at turn 3, so very good performance there from Spud, as he really held tough there, and some exciting racing going on here between these 3. The Spud just works on closing in the Mountain Goat, coming up to turn 5. Gets a little bit sideways, so that's probably going to hamper his exit of that corner. But not too much that it's going to cost him. But yeah, very close battle here between these 3. But we'll look a bit further back in the pack, and obviously the 2 teammates from It's Racing Esports, Deadpool and Has Mahmood, running 6th and 7th, and then Lurox just behind in 8th place. He's recovering from that poor qualifying, so he might be playing things a bit, well, being a bit unfortunate here, that he'll make his way up the field and then find himself starting at the back again in race 2.
Yeah, the reverse grid race really turns up to the racing, as you see Papa AT burning the penalty there, which is good. So nice to see that he's following the rules.
Yeah, of course we like guys that stick to the rules here, and unfortunately for him it's dropped him all the way down to 8th place here, with Deadpool, Huz Mahmood and Lurox all going past. So Papa's going to have a bit of work to do here as we follow on board, heading down towards turn 4. Doesn't look like he's close enough to make a move here, but a bit of contact between Lurox and Huz Mahmood.
Yeah, and obviously we got the no tuning here, so it's no holds barred here. Just go for your life and see how you go.
Yeah, this certainly keeps all the drivers nice and close together. As Lurox makes a dive down the inside of Huz Mahmood up into 6th place, so very strong comeback here for him. And as we think towards race 2, it's probably going to put him in about 8th place or something. Not 8th place, yeah, probably about 8th place for the second race, or something along those lines.
Yeah, it'll certainly be good to watch at the start of the next race because, as we know from previous, just to spice things up a bit, we reverse the whole grid of the field and see who can fight their way back through the middle of the field.
Yeah, those race twos certainly provide a lot of passing action and sometimes a lot of carnage as well, as there goes Papa AT sailing around the outside trying to make a move. A little bit of contact there between Papa AT and Huz Mahmood as they head through turns 2 and 3. Doesn't look like he's managed to make that move stick on the outside, so he's going to have to go back to work and on making something happen here in the final 2 laps of this race. So we'll just jump back up the field, and here's Spud and Mountain Goat side by side heading up into turn 5. As Mountain Goat runs really wide there trying to hold him out.
Definitely not a line you want to take there, but by the looks of it as well, we still got to fight on for the lead.
Oh yes, we should look a bit closer. It's just 4 tenths between Diswood and PX7 Twitchy. We've just over a lap to go, so this race is well and truly not over here.
Is a race well and truly ever over until the checkered flag drops?
Well, I think, yes, you're correct there, and I think there's quite a few drivers that can attest to that. Probably one of the most famous being Nigel Mansell, who stopped the wave to the crowd on the final lap and his engine stopped.
That's definitely something you don't want to do on your final lap.
No, definitely not, and so Twitchy will certainly be making sure that this final lap is absolutely perfect as it can be, because if there's any mistakes, I'm sure Diswood will be breathing right down his neck and aiming to take that victory away. But from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't look like Diswood can quite get close enough. I think he just had a speculative late braking there just to try and close the gap up.
It's I know for a fact that I wouldn't be one to have Diswoodsy that close behind me on the last lap, because he's definitely a threat to anyone.
Yes, I might just quickly jump back to the top 3 spots. Looks like Mountain Goat's going to take 3rd possibly, but got Deadpool closing in and Spud's a bit further back, so something must have happened there to those two. But PX7 Twitchy's rounding the final corners now, and now it's just a blast along these final 2 curves down the main straight, and he'll claim race 1 of the Trackstars Porsche Cup round 5 in the Pro class here at Interlagos. It's PX7 Twitchy who crosses the line to take the win from Diswood 1. As coming down to the final podium position, it's Mountain Goat who's going to take it narrowly over Deadpool. And Spud comes home in 5th, Lurok 6th, Haz Mahmood in 7th, V Papa AT crossing the line in 8th, Bjorn Borg's Undies in 9th, and Whipper Attack out running out top 10. And then the rest of the places, RSR Robo Sport, GTTC Heafster, and then Dano, who's now coming across the line as the last of our 13 finishes in race 1 of the Trackstars Porsche Cup.
Surprising to see where some of these drivers are finishing. It looks like they might have had some unlucky penalties or some spins there. I'm surprised Dano and Robbo aren't a little bit further up the pack, but we got to think and acknowledge all these new drivers coming in. They are really, really quick, and they're all appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's certainly the quality of drivers is certainly improving with each race that we come across, and yeah, it's good to see, and it's very surprising as well.
Yeah, it's nice to see even as well in the TS2 and the TSF2 as well, to see all the new faces and new names, and even the new people subbing in for the main drivers as well, and it's certainly keeping the competition fierce, close, and one to watch, I tell you that much.
Yeah, and just to think that this time last year it was only one well, basically one group of racing, maybe two. But yeah, the second division starting up, and then eventually we've gone to nearly 2 full lobbies for the second division.
Yeah, and it's like that in nearly every category at the moment. We're nearly at... Well, how many lobbies did we have for the Blue Moon Bay 500? We had 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was three lobbies all up in the end, but we nearly had enough qualifying to have 4 lobbies.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest Track Stars event that I've been around for, and obviously I've only been here since the start of the season, but it was good to see everyone tuning in, and we've got 11 people watching at the moment, and going to the YouTube chat, we've got James Oates in there. Mate, g'day, how's your night going? Are you enjoying the racing?
Yeah, of course, to all those following along on YouTube, and of course I'm actually streaming at the same time to my own Twitch channel as well. Maybe we can try and get a few people interested in the series through Twitch as well. So if you're following along through either YouTube or Twitch, then chuck a comment up, let us know, say good day, let us know where you're watching from as well. We love to know how far and wide Track Stars is reaching across this globe.
It's good to see a lot of people lately have started to tune in from a lot of different countries around the world, and obviously we got a lot of drivers from around the world as well, and we've got some new people in the elite lobby. We've got Anne, who's from also the UK, a lot of other boys over there from Germany, Spain, that kind of stuff. So it's good to see that the Track Stars is finally starting to expand worldwide, and you never know, maybe we might have a international Track Star series one season.
Yeah, that's definitely something that could be on the cards one day. And we've got obviously guys like Gabans, who was from Germany and moved to Australia, and then you've got the likes of Deadpool and Han from England, and of course the duo from Belgium of Devlin Calypso and Scully as well. We can't forget about them. They regularly turn up on a weekly basis and compete in our second division series, so it's always good to see them taking part as well.
Yeah, it's good to see them, and then you got them taking part in the LMP series in the I believe they're in the Porsche 919. You've got Devlin Calypso in that, and I believe it's Scully, and then they're showing a pretty good form in that, so that's also one to watch. So if you guys are around, we race every Sunday over on the Trackstars YouTube channel. The second series, which is obviously the feeder to the main series, they start at 6 o'clock, if I'm correct, and then you got the big boys that race at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so there's definitely plenty of racing on across the board, and we cater for a whole wide range of skill level as well.
Yeah, so we got OGR Baldy Ovo, love to be in it, mate. Join up in the Discord if you need to. I believe it's on It's Racing's Twitch channel. If not, I'll get a link for you and I'll post it in there. We got James Oates racing in Benjo's lobby. Good to see you joining in. And Heath Nielsen, mate. Who are you racing in the main one? Who's that one? Jarman, please assist me on that one.
I believe that might be GTTC Heapster.
Ah, yes. Yes. It's nice to see all these boys jumping in. Link. Cheering on Mountain Goat, mate. Nice to see that you're cheering on people around there. You got the link in the Discord there. Sorry, the link in the Twitch chat to the Discord. Come join in, man. See everything that happens behind the scenes. and you'll be happy to see all of the action that goes on. We try and run a tight ship around here, but obviously Itz does a lot of work for the boys, but he's got a lot of people helping him out now, so just trying to do our best and make Trackstars as big as we can get it.
Yeah, of course, there's guys like yourself, N-Spud P666, Robbo Sport, all chip in and help out. Of course, Lurox has been doing plenty of work with the graphics in the last couple of weeks and really making our Facebook page stand out as well, so don't forget to like us on Facebook as well if you haven't already, or even subscribe to the YouTube or Twitch channels, and make sure that we keep growing this series as much as possible.
Yeah, and I tell you this, I'll give you a sneak peek that the new intro that Lyrics is making is one to watch out for, because it is fantastic.
Yeah, I've had a look at
a
few little snippets of that, and yeah, it's a very exciting little intro, and I can't wait to show it off at the start of our coverages soon.
It's one to watch out for, as we are ready to go here for race 2 around Interlagos for round 5 of the Porsche Cup Series, with Dano starting on the front row with Easter there as well beside him, Robbo Sport and Whip Attack at the second row with Bjorn Borg's Undies, mate, that's a tongue twister and a half, and Puppet AT rounding out the third row.
Yes, so we've got the field lined up ready to go for race 2. Looks like someone's jumped the start there. That's Whip Attack who's jumped the start and he's stuck there. So he's had a bad start there, and it's really affected the order, but Dano 8 gets a clean start from pole position, leads them through turn 1, so probably the best scenario for him. He can just get off to a good start and start bolting down the road as much as he can, with RSR Robbo Sport following behind in second, and of course V-Pupper AT in third place after that penalty halfway through race 1. That's going to stick him right up the order as Robbo Sport runs wide. That's going to hand second spot to Pupper AT. That is going to be the best news that Pupper would have wanted. And for good measure, Robbo Sport picks up a penalty as well.
Its game doesn't hold back on the penalties, I tell you that much. Like, benefited Pupper, but if I was Dano, man, I'd be worried for the boys coming in behind him. You've got Pupper on his heels. Mountain Goat obviously with a good start. Obviously he started at the back after having a good finish in the last race, and we got Twitchy and Woodsy coming through the field as well.
Yes, so some good battles going on here between Woods, Twitchy, obviously Robbo Sport, who's been falling down the order, and unfortunately that 1 second penalty is going to really hurt him when we get down to the straight. But this is definitely what you want to look out for, is these fast guys coming up through the field in this second race, and see who can make up the most ground and gain the most points. As Diswood will be looking to maybe get a spot or two between himself and Twitchy, but looks like Twitchy's going to head down the inside into turn 1 and take 6th spot away from him.
He tries to do the over and under there on Twitchy, but Twitchy closes the gap as they're hot on the heels of Heathstar, who's also behind Lyrox, as Pup AT's overtaken Dano, and hope for him that he gets on his bike and pulls away from the field, which isn't the case because he's got Dano fighting for the lead.
Yeah, so Dano's definitely not going to give that up easy. Like, once you're starting from the front, you'd certainly want to make the most of the opportunity given to you. Oh, that's a bit wide there from Papa. Looks like Mountain Goat's trying to make his way past Dano as well.
Come on, boys, it's not Tokyo Drift, mate. It's Trackstars Racing Series.
As Dano's doing his best to hold off Mountain Goat, but looks like Mountain Goat's just too strong for him there into turn 11, and Mountain Goat's up to second. So some of the faster guys have made their way up through the field very fast here. Of course, Papa AT had a bit more of a favourable starting position thanks to that penalty in race 1, so that's going to cost him points wise, but might also help him out with getting himself on the winners list as well.
And as we know, obviously, if this is your first time tuning in, The combined points of race 1 and 2 justify your starting position for race 3. So, if I'm correct, at this point in time, we might have Twitchy and Woodsy rounding out the front row, but still a long race to go with 5 laps to go. We might see the battle for the lead out there if they can catch the front. But we've got a battle here with Lurox and Dano.
Actually, I think it might be a tie between Mountain Goat and Twitchy for highest points, because Mountain Goat did take 3rd place, and he's got a couple of spots between himself and Twitchy at the moment. As Lurox makes a dive down the inside of Dano into turn 5, and that's going to open a door for Twitchy as well. So Twitchy's going to make the most of that, up in the position 4 at this stage, as we're on lap 3 of 7 in race 2 of the Trackstars Porsche Cup round 5, as we're following the pro classes. Diswood makes a move up the inside. He's certainly not wanting to be left behind by Twitchy at this point of the night. If he can make some moves and try and stick with Twitchy as much as possible, it can certainly keep him in a good spot come the final.
Well, if I was Woodsy, I wouldn't want to drop back too far from Twitchy, because that would possibly close the gap of his championship lead that he's got on him.
Yeah, of course, that's the other thing to consider. Maybe he might be happy to settle for 2nd in tonight's races. Dano, I think, tried to make a move back on Diswood, but just outbroke himself a bit there, and now he's coming under pressure from Deadpool coming out of turn 3. As Deadpool pulls out of that draft and moves alongside, so I think this is going to be a pretty simple pass into turn 4. Although Dano comes back up the inside, so he's certainly not giving up without a fight. And Deadpool's been pushed miles wide.
That is taking track limits to the extreme, as we see Dano just go a little bit wide there, which might close the gap for Deadpool to catch back up.
Yeah, I don't think Deadpool gained too much out of that though, so I think Deadpool nearly ended up at Argentina.
I don't know about you, mate, but I'm happy to get on a plane with you. And as we see, who just goes wide there?
I think that was Heaster. And
Oh,
who just spun out there? I think Dano just spun as well. So that was Heaster that I think ran wide into that corner. Let's have a look at the replay here. Yep, he just
gets the grass.
Yeah, just too much on the rear, and looks like Dano's left the room as well, so.
Looking good here at the moment for Woodsy, just to see where he finishes, because as we can see here, we got Spud in 2nd place in the championship, 20 points behind, and then yourself in 3rd, which is surprising to see, but as per your last couple of posts, it looks like you've started to step up a little bit from racing.
Yeah, so starting to make the move towards just focusing on the streaming and running of this series, so something, yeah, a bit different to the racing, and hopefully we can continue some coverage of this series going and get it out there for more people to view. As we've got Deadpool in 9th, Whipper Attack in 8th, and Bjorn Borg's Undies in 7th, all battling it out here. So we might just jump towards the front, as Papa AT's coming under a bit of pressure here from Mountain Goat, and then Twitchy in 3rd place. So we thought Papa might have run away with this, but he's certainly not having it all his own way.
Very close battle here at the moment between these guys, and as you can see in the background there, Lurox is just lurking in the wing, just waiting for something to happen with these guys.
As Papa and Mountain Goat go side by side into turn 1, Papa isn't going to let him have this very easy, as he puts up a very robust defence, and that opens the door for Twitchy, who makes the most of the battle between these two and slips past Mountain Goat in the 2nd place. So Twitchy's got 2 laps and about 5/10 gain on Paparazzi, although at this point I don't think it's much about the time difference as the position on the track. So I think you could basically say that Twitchy will be looking to make a move in the next few corners and the rest of the lap, and then of course the rest of the next lap.
Certainly want to see, and he's, by the looks of things, really clean, hasn't picked up any penalties, hasn't slid, he's just racing his own race. And as we see, Pape T, what? Oh, it must have just glitched out a little bit there. He disappeared on my screen.
Yeah, I thought he was running wide as well. I was about to get all excited, and then all of a sudden he pops back up.
As we got Deadpool putting something in the chat, must have had something happen with the teammates.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look here, and not sure what's going on. Okay, that's a weird one. He's stopped the burn to penalty in the middle of the track. Not sure what's going on there, but
Looks like he's trying to let Deadpool pass, but I'm not really sure what's going on here between these two.
yeah, that's a very weird one.
Never seen that before, but something strange going on here between the teammates as we see Mountain Goat just overtake Twitchy there.
Yeah, so
But he's on.
battle on for second here in the last lap as Papa's starting to get away with it a little bit, so Papa's certainly clearing out again as these two behind him go to battle. There's Mountain Goats all over the back of P67 Twitchy. Not sure what's happened there with Papa again. It looked like he ran wide, but maybe there might be a bit of lag going on there.
We all know what GT servers are like with lag, but if Papa can hold this on, he will have a maiden finish in first place with Twitchy and Mountain Goat rounding out the podium.
Yes, and coming out the last corner now, and we've got Paparazzi leading the way. I don't think it's going to be quite enough for Twitchy to gain on him, so it's V Paparazzi who takes advantage of his starting position, take the win in race 2 here, with Twitchy crossing the line second, Mountain Goat third, Lurox fourth, Diswood fifth, all covered basically by a blanket, N-Spud in 6th, Bjorn Borg's Undies in 7th, 8th for Whipper Attack, Robbo Sport inside the top 10 in 9th, GTTC Heathster rounding out the top 10, and then the two It's Racing Esports cars of Deadpool and Huz Mahmood rounding out the field in 11th and 12th, so not a good performance for these two, and maybe something they need to settle out.
Not some funk is going on here with Deadpool and Huz. It looks like there's a bit of a friendly rivalry here between the two
I do
teammates.
not know what's going on there. So
yeah, it's interesting to see as I leave you for 2 minutes as I go and get my dinner that has just rocked up from Uber Eats. So I shall be back.
no worries. I think we'll go to a break quickly after this. I'll have to tally some points together and sort out the field for race number 3. As we see Paparazzi, of course, taking the win, so congratulations to him, and we'll be back shortly as we tally some points up, and we'll be back soon for race 3. Alright, welcome back guys, and we're just about to get underway for our third and final race for tonight in round 5 of the Trackstars Porsche Cup Pro Class. Fortunately we've only got 10 cars left for this race, as we've got Twitchy off pole with Mountain Goat joining him on the front row, Diswood and Papa on the second row, and then N-Spud and Deadpool on the third row. And then of course we've got Bjorn Borg's Undies and Whip Attack on row 4. And then Robbo Sport and GTTC Heaston running out the field. As it looks like Deadpool's got a jump start already, so that's going to cost him. And we're underway for the third and final race, 12 laps this time around, as Twitchy is off to a good start and leads the field into turn 1, but a bit of contact there from Mountain Goat, and Diswood dives up the inside and takes the lead through turn 1. Makes full advantage of that bump there between Twitchy and Papa AT. So it's Diswood leading the field through turn 1, 2 and 3 and into turn 4, as Papa now moves up the inside of Mountain Goat as they run side by side. So it's Papa in third, Spud in fourth, Mountain Goat in fifth. So these top 5 places are going to be crucial, as the top 5 will go through to the combined final between the pro class of this race and then the top 2 in the elite class, which is also ongoing at the moment, as well as the top 7 from the pit lane esports races.
I definitely want to be in Woodsley's spot right now, but maybe not with Twitchy that close behind.
Yeah, of course, there's a nice draft that comes from these cars, so it's a good spot for Woods to be in at the moment. But yeah, it looks like he might be a bit of a sitting duck coming down this straight here. Although he has had a good exit out of his corner, so it might just be enough to hold off that slipstream as he heads down the main straight and leads the field to the end of lap 1. And I think he's got enough of a gap to hold off the draft from Twitchy, who's following in closely behind as we look a bit further down the order, and it's Mountain Goat in third with Spud and Papa in 4th and 5th. So we've got Robbo Sport in 6th, Bjorn Borg's Undies in 7th, Whip Attack in 8th, and Deadpool languishing down in 9th at this stage, but he isn't too far off that he could maybe still mount a charge and try and take a top 5 spot here, hey?
It's certainly something that Deadpool is known for, is just to make a really late charge and just, I don't know, he just seems to pull time out of that car that no one else really can, and don't ask me how he does it, but God, he's a good driver when he does.
Yeah, having done lots of laps with him as a teammate, I can certainly attest that he's a very fast driver, and I know I've certainly learned a lot off of him in the 6 months that we've been racing together. As out of nowhere, Adam Weller joins the room.
Here it is! Surely we can get big old Mr. Adam in the commentary room. Let me message him on Discord. Oh, yeah.
As Deadpool is right on the tail of Whip Attack for 7th place here at the end of lap 2. As I think we've just missed, oh no, we're missing the change for the lead here between Twitchy and Diswood as they run side by side down the main straight. Who's going to lead through into turn 1? Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Looks like Twitchy's just got the job done here, but Diswood's certainly setting himself up for the switchbacks through the S's and heading down the main straight, and he's also very close in the draft as well, so it'll be interesting down to turn 4. It's certainly not over by any means.
I don't think this race is ever over, and here we go. We are joined by the man, the great Mr. Adam Weller.
Hello.
Oi, here he is.
Hello Adam, glad
you
you could join us.
Are you streaming the actual thing, or do I need to be in the lobby?
I'm actually streaming it right now, so you should be able to see the screen. I think I've shared it with you.
Have you? My interwebs is having a moment by the looks of it.
We've still got this battle going on here with Twitchy and Diswood, and I feel like if Twitchy stays in, it might be a battle that'll carry on for a few rounds here between these two.
Yeah, certainly a long way to go, but I mean, Twitchy had a good run out of that last corner there and has pulled a gap, so might just be the point where Twitchy starts to stretch his legs a bit and extends that advantage over Diswood, especially through the second sector of this lap. Once your slipstream isn't as important as it is through the main straight and between turns 3 and 4. Although that being said, Diswood got a good run through those S's there, and he'll be right on the tail of Diswood heading down the straight. As we look a bit further back, and this three-way battle between the Mountain Goat, Spud and Puffer still raging on. I think Spud moved over a bit there in under braking, so not quite the move he wanted to pull, but of course I think he had more of his eyes forward rather than backwards.
Yeah, he was trying to avoid the back of Mountain Goat there, and I don't think he fully appreciated just how alongside him Paparati really was. But thankfully, all of them came out of that one unscathed. Then the young Mountain Goat, we saw him make a fairly wild debut at Laguna Seca in the Trackstars touring cars. That was kind of his first blip on the radar of Trackstars, but he was already known to a bunch of the drivers, and well, we all know him now as one of the better young stars in the organisation. Spud there gets a wheel on the grass under braking, and Paparati is through into 4th place. So Papa there taking advantage of the error from Spud. That's so easy to do, and RoboSport is looking to do the same thing. Good run so far from Robbo.
Yeah, of course, the top 5 actually go through and join Pit Lane Esports in the 30-minute final race, so it could be a very big scalp for Robbo if he managed to slip into the top 5 and bump Spud out of the final race.
That would be something indeed. So we've got Robbo there in 6th place. Deadpool's behind him. Gap's 1.8 seconds. We've seen Deadpool come up from just outside the top 10. I think he's going to claim a few more scalps before the end of this one, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly think he's got a few drivers ahead of him that are very much easy pickings for him, I reckon.
It's the number. Go on.
Good to see all these boys having such a close battle here, and it's definitely good to hear your voice here, Adam, back in this commentary box, mate. I can tell you this much, we have missed you in this box.
I looked at Discord and thought, the commentators feed is open. I didn't realise they streamed the Thursday event. Excellent. I'm going to go say hello.
Yeah, it's something we've just started trying to do, so hopefully it catches on a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm around on Thursday mornings. Deadpool just breaking traction a little bit there. We talk about him maybe getting further up the order, but he's also got to try and shake off Whip Attack there in 8th place. So actually a good run here in the Dempsey Proton liveried car, right up to the back of Deadpool. Not really sure why he didn't make a move to the inside there. He kind of got to the very headlight or tail light of Deadpool's car and then just kind of decided to chill there. That was odd.
Yeah,
maybe he wants to be led up to RoboSport and the others by Deadpool. Maybe that's what's going on there.
Yeah, maybe he recognises who's in front of him and maybe realises that fighting might not be the best way to go about things.
Yes, well, of course, that is a solid way to let someone know on track that you're not going to attack them immediately, is just to kind of head up to them for what would look like an obvious move and then just staying in the wheel tracks, lifting out the throttle. So actually some quite good communication there from Whip Attack. He wants to try and get into the top half dozen with the assistance of Deadpool rather than squabble for 7th place for the rest of the race. Quite heads up driving, actually.
Yeah, it's probably a very smart move and something I'm surprised with because I don't think those two have actually raced together a lot.
Okay.
So it would be, well, to me it would be surprising that he would have enough awareness to actually know that how good Deadpool is and that maybe there's an opportunity there.
Robbo Sport coming under attack from Deadpool. Deadpool to the inside at the centre S and straight through into P6. So the number 28 Cartel Equipment Hire Machine being put further through the field still. Whip Attack has kind of fallen out of the slip of Deadpool, but I think he'll be on the back of Robbo Sport before too long. It looks like we might have an interesting battle for 4th and 5th there. As well, Mountain Goat has got a couple of car lengths now in the orange and black car over Papa AT and N-Spud, the defending champ. Papa AT there runs it a bit deep and a bit slow at the first apex. That gives Spud an opportunity to try and close in on the green, blue and black car. Kind of looks like the old Paul Belmondo Racing Viper livery from the 2005 European Le Mans Series. Nerd points achieved. Spud pressuring the back there. Oh, don't want to have an Alex Albon, Lewis Hamilton 2019 scenario there. We've seen it happen before. Let's not have this happen again. We've got 5 more laps, and of course it is for the podium position as well. So let's hope they stay out of that scenario.
Yeah, I don't think we'd want to see another Hamilton-Albon scenario, and you could safely say that they're in the right positions as well, with the champion following what is essentially a first-year Track Stars driver, so it's very much possible that it could play out exactly that way.
I think Mountain Goat's been too busy watching his mirrors to see the battle, because suddenly he's all over. He's being stalked at a much closer range by Papa AT and Spud, well within the slip. This could well end up being 3 wide if we're not careful into the second braking zone of the lap, but actually no, everyone just kind of stays line astern there. But Papa AT might just be biding his time here, maybe trying to instill a sense of false security in young Mountain Goat, but Mountain Goat knows his stuff. There goes Papa AT though, looking to the inside, and again, albeit running wide slightly, Mountain Goat there manages to keep hold of the position. I'm actually quite surprised he hasn't befallen some track limits there.
Yeah, they were both running, well, Mountain Goat was definitely running very wide there, and I think maybe Mountain Goat might have fallen asleep through the centre S there, just judging by how much time he's given up through there.
Okay, interesting. So on to the straight that isn't straight, and Papa AT, oh dear, he just got a wheel on the dirt. So easy to do at that corner, as we've already said, and that's given Spud the opportunity to move up into 4th place. He's right in the slip of Mountain Goat as well, but I'm not sure he's going to be close enough heading into the centre S, but he could make me eat my words. He's tucked in behind the rear wing of Mountain Goat, but he thinks better of it, maybe just looking for a good run off the centre S. Maybe he clocked exactly what you said there, It's Racing, spotted that Mountain Goat was slightly slack into that corner last time, but on this occasion it seems as though Spud has had the worst run of it, because Papa AT is all over the back of him as they head down, and Spud actually diving to the inside of Mountain Goat, but more I think a defensive move to stay off Papa. But this is a great battle for 3rd place. These 3 all very good drivers, all with decorated backgrounds in Track Stars and elsewhere, and great to see them fighting in identical cars.
Yeah, it's looking very close between these 3, and I think one thing you've got to look out for as well is that time gap between Papa and Deadpool is just closing in by the corner.
Yes, that is very true, down to about 1.3 seconds by the looks of it, so give this one more lap of fighting and I think he'll be right there with them into the podium positions. I'm assuming in typical Deadpool fashion he is laden with a quantity of ballast at the moment.
No ballast in this series, so...
Okay. I thought you might have put 50 kilos on it just for kicks anyway. You know how he is.
I don't think so. He's a fond fan of the ballast.
That would be a It's Racing thing to do.
Yeah. It's for the show, man. I'm a show man. Mountain Goat, Spud and Papa through the centre S then for the 10th time. Just 2 laps to go, so Poole is running out of time here, but he has already gained a couple of tenths just in the quarter of the lap where really one doesn't usually make too much time. It's all straight lines and basic braking zones. But nonetheless, Deadpool is still closing in. Paparazzi there almost did what Spud did coming out of the final corner, putting a wheel on the grass into the braking zone, which is always something that creates a Larry experience. Thankfully on that occasion Papa caught it, maybe not running his bias to the rear there, because I think if he was, he would have ended up in the grass and maybe even into the barrier. Spud being hounded by Paparazzi then. Papa not making this easy at all for Spud. Spud's saying, I want a podium, I'm thinking of the championship here, and Papa says, yeah, I'm also thinking of the championship, but mine, not yours. Paparazzi with a good run again into the final corner, not usually an overtaking zone. Thinks better of it. The reason it's not usually an overtaking zone is because you usually want to be right in someone's wheel tracks as you come down this long high-speed section back up to pit lane and towards the braking zone for the Senna S. Let's see if any moves are made this time. They seem to have been almost a little bit forgiving on one another heading into the Senna S for the last few laps, but surely the attacks are about to happen. Disappointed.
Yeah, it's been a good race to watch so far, and obviously we see these young kids coming up through the ranks, especially Matt Goat. Like, he's 15, I think he is.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to see this battle happening, because it's a lot different on the other side of the screen, as I was saying earlier to Jarman, but these guys are still going at it, and Deadpool is just that little bit further out there, and if these guys keep battling, he'll be on the back of these guys in no time, and then we'll have a four-way battle for the podium.
Yeah, he's only made up a couple of tenths in the last lap or so he's not quite close enough, but of course the key figure is 0.75 of a second. That's when the slipstream starts to really kick in, and in fact, he's there, more or less. I think by the time we get to the straight, yes, he's already in the fight, so there we go. A little bit of argy-bargy between them as they came through the long sweeping right-hander, and suddenly Deadpool has arrived. He's checked into the hotel, he's heading to the bed, he's going to see how many places he can make up.
See how many beds he can take in that aspect.
How many pillows can he claim?
So then, with a pillow thief.
I love some of my analogies. They're very weird, especially when I haven't been awake for very long. Paparazzi then falls a little bit off Mountain Goat and Spud. Spud's looking to the outside. He's going to try and stick around the outside of Mountain Goat here in an attempt to maybe claim the inside for the second part of the Senna S. I think Mountain Goat overcooked the braking a little bit there, and Spud is through into P3. Deadpool through into P5 as well. So Spud's got the podium position, but Mountain Goat is surely going to mount a counter-attack as soon as humanly possible. Into the next braking zone they go. Mountain Goat's got the inside line. Spud is going to have to give him the inside. Goat gives him room, so Spud can at least stay on the circuit. Paparazzi did not stay on the circuit, but Spud still pressuring the back of Mountain Goat. Deadpool's in amongst it as well. He smells a podium. Just a little bit overcooking it into the first apex of this long right-hander. Mountain Goat still holding on to P3. Spud had it for a matter of meters, but now it is Mountain Goat again. But is this the position he wants to be in? Surely leading onto that long high-speed section to the finish line could actually work against Mountain Goat. Certainly that's what happens in Caterham-style racing. You don't want to lead going onto a long final straight. We'll see whether the slipstream is strong enough. But meanwhile, we haven't talked about him at all, but PX7 Twitchy has absolutely driven away from Diswood, and he's claimed an absolutely commanding race victory here in the 12-lapper at Interlagos. Diswood in the 66, flash of the headlights, he's across the line for P2. Who's going to cross the line for third place? It is Mountain Goat. Mere fractions of a second. What a close finish. Spud there almost got him at the line. It was proper pink slips drag racing style stuff there. Spud crossed the line fourth ahead of Deadpool, Papa AT, Robosport. Wow, what an excellent race. Of course, Whipper in 8th place as well, but that was an excellent battle for third place, and ultimately some great defending from the Mountain Goat.
It was very nice to see there, having Mountain Goat defending the likes of Spud, Deadpool, and Papa on there. Like, defending one of them is not easy, let alone three. So it was good to see, as we see PX7 Twitchy there taking the win and taking the round win for the first 3 races, and then coming in together with the top 5 of these ones, together with the PLE, and seeing how they go in the ultimate grand finale of the night.
It's racing, giving them their due there. Good to see. That was a very, very great race, and 4 starts as Deadpool. Ah dear. I actually met Deadpool a couple of weeks ago, as those of you in the Discord will have seen. Came together in London for a brief little meeting, and also a handover of F1 2020, since I don't use it. And yeah, he's an excellent guy. He's actually a lot quieter in real life. I think it's the actor in him. He feels the need to perform for the audience when he's in the lobbies.
Yeah, he joined a party chat one night, and he was definitely had a different sense of humour I wasn't expecting of him, but he seems to get along well with the likes of myself and Woodsy. So that's if you can cope in a lobby with us two, then you're fine, mate, because we are probably, you'd like to say from the likes of yourself, Adam, we are probably the most colourful people to chat with.
You met my expectations of Australian gamers, is what I'll say. Make of that what you will. That was absolutely excellent stuff. So does the stream now get handled by Kenty?
I'm actually going to jump over as well and stream via YouTube.
Excellent.
I'm not sure how we're going to work the commentary out, whether Kenty's going to join myself or whether we all join him. But it looks like they're currently on lap 8 of their final race, judging by the comments from Shane Kenty on the Twitch stream.
Yeah, they're on lap 9 is what I can see there.
Okay, so a little ahead of schedule for the Pro Class then, or a little behind schedule in the Elite, but we'll see. Track stars. Go on.
Would you like
AE McEwen that's in first, TX3 RB26, ASR Adam, and I can't see who's exactly in fourth there.
Got an Adam in the ranks. Good stuff. We had a guy called, I did a 24-hour race 3 weeks ago at Silverstone, and there was a driver called Sam Weller. And I carried on. I think one time I accidentally did say my own name. Bear in mind it was a 24-hour race, I was very tired. But yeah, it was kind of funny. Paparazzi says hi. Hi, Papa.
I was tired commentating 2 hours of the 6-hour Le Mans that we raced, and then races the 2 hours as well. So that was a bit of.
I was very disappointed to miss that. I only did 13 of the 24 hours, but yes, it was quite tiring by the end. But the thing about endurance racing is, especially with spec endurance racing, it was a Citroen C1, tiny little city cars in a 24-hour race. I said city, not the other thing. And they do actually provide really good racing across the 24, so it wasn't actually, so tiring, but it was lengthy. You did occasionally have to find some other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I can't imagine how long a 24-hour race would have been in the commentary box, but likes of you obviously heading off to Snetterton and Silverstone and stuff like that to take on the commentary of real-life racing.
Yeah, Brands Hatch last week, back to Silverstone this week. Then I've got a weekend off, kind of, but I'm going to be doing some highlights, voiceovers for some motorcycle racing, FIM World Supermotos, and then back to Silverstone for, among other things, Brit Car. So I'll get to see Jimmy Broadbent's real life racing exploits.
Yeah, as we can see here that we've got a battle on for 4th between Oldtimer 05 and DP, is that DPX Mario 11? So it looks like we might be having a battle on as Mario is in the slipstream and there's a bit of left and rights going on.
Okay, interesting. So what's the cutoff to be in the final there? Is it top 7?
Yes, that's right. It's a top 7 from the pit lane group.
Okay.
And then top 2 from Benjo's lobby. I might just jump into that and see how they're travelling along. I get the feeling they might be a little bit behind as well. I think even we were behind on our schedule, but we've somehow managed to be the best of everyone.
The least worst.
Yes, probably the best way to put it.
Who needs schedules, eh?
Yeah, they're just conservative suggestions.
Monza Endurance Series race, never forget.
Oh, I think the Fuji one took the cake, didn't it?
Was it worse than? No, it did take a very long time to get going, didn't it?
I think it
Yeah.
we had to cut half an hour out of the race.
You did, that's why it ended faster.
Was it
Yes,
Monza?
you're right.
Actually, no, we didn't. And at Monza, we had to do it in 2 races. We had to do a last half an hour stint.
Yes, because Spud's internet went boom.
Yeah,
So then,
regular-
can't see what lap we're on at the moment.
Yeah, it's looking very weird. Well, we're 16
Yes.
minutes in, so... And I'm going to assume
Whoa,
Benjo isn't
Benj-
actually leading. I got a feeling it's Magical Wax from Gabans.
So what they do, it corrects it after everyone's crossed the line once. So I think you're right there that it'll be Han and Magical Wax. A fellow Brit leading the way. Big up. It's Han at the back, actually.
I think Hands at the back. I think
Yes,
it's a
Hands
battle
at the
between
back.
Magical Wax and Gabans for the top 2.
Okay. Oh, that's an interesting top 2 then. Magical Wax and Gabans. Gabans there. Yes, it's corrected itself now. So Gabans in the 2nd position. Did I see the final lap thing flash up there as well?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so hopefully this is correct and it is the final lap. Magical Wax and Gabans heading down the straight into the 2nd braking zone of the lap, and Gabans tries to go all the way around the outside in his car, backed by EBM among others. Magical Wax then under some pressure for the lead in this one. We got Budsy, Slayer, Crazy Kiwi, James O'Bro 5 and Highlander currently occupying the top 7 places. We have a Brit in 8th place. Go on, Rui, come and join us in the grand final race.
Actually,
Magical
it's
Wax
just
and
the top
Gabans though still fighting. Go on.
It's just the top 2 from this race, because this is our
Sorry.
effectively 2nd division of Track Stars.
Right. Okay. My apologies.
So I think these 2 are locked into the 2 spots by the looks of things.
Unless Gabans has a moment, and he does, but it wasn't one that took out Magical Wax, so these 2 have really broken free of everybody else. I mean, looking at the quality of their CVs in Track Stars, it's not necessarily a surprise that Magical Wax and Gabans are 1-2 here, but a great result nonetheless from Magical Wax to stave off the advances of Gabans. Budsy held on quite nicely at 3rd place. He wasn't so far down the road. Kiwi Slayer rounding out the top 5. James O'Bro had to burn off a penalty by the looks of it at the very end, but still crosses the line in 6th place. And Chef Toddy down in 11th. So I don't think he had an optimal race by any stretch of the imagination. Venti Supersoft, is that a penalty burn area?
No. Very much not a penalty burn area.
No.
He probably wasn't
Benjo.
expecting the streamers to jump in and catch him out.
We can see. Yes. And Benjo is going to be ruining the fact that he made that error, although it does look as though Venti might just be letting him through. What's going on here? They're trying to have a drag race to the line. This is staged racing. It's DRS all over again. And I think Venti is just about going to hold off Benjo, but he made it harder for himself than he needed to. Han down in 14th, so she's had a little bit of a troubled race in the Porsche. I know that she's a big fan of the Super Formula cars, having come over from F1, but not quite the best race for her, but nonetheless she will see the finish, and it's always good to see people sticking it out no matter what happens. All too often, especially in the dailies and the FIAs, someone does a pirouette or something and that's the end of their race, but we don't see that so often here. In Trackstar's competition, if you're here till the end, which is great to see.
Yeah, definitely good to see from her, and of course, as you mentioned about the Super Formula, that'll be something to keep an eye on this Sunday when she makes her debut in the Formula 2 series.
There you go, so it is great stuff to see new people coming in. We've got a few more of the British contingent coming in. I guess that's the Deadpool effect, maybe.
Yeah, that could be right.
We see that's all good. So now we've got to combine all three of these lobbies now to go over to Kenty's lobby, but we got Gaban's jumping ship for the Porsche series, racing for ICER Racing, led by Benjo, with about six drivers in that one. So
You see, Benjo is very persuasive. He's got me in that server as well.
yeah, it's good to see these extra teams come in, which will make a bit of work for us managers next season for the next year.
Absolutely. So, I imagine there's going to be a little bit of behind the scenes negotiation and discussion and just assurances that we get the right people in now. Yeah, approaching 9 o'clock over there. We're gone midday here in the UK, so hopefully none of the Brits forego the last race in favour of lunch, but
yeah, we've just passed 9 o'clock. It's 9:14 over here.
Oh, okay, so you're in a different time zone from it as well. Okay.
Yeah, he's down in the COVID state down there in Melbourne.
No. I'm from the state.
I almost made a joke there, and I'm glad I didn't.
I'm from the state that kicked off the latest lockdown.
Ah, dear.
You're from the state that kicked off all the lockdowns.
What do you mean?
All we asked was that you stop tongue kissing in the Kmart. You can't do it. Kmart's still a thing? I know it's not in America, but...
Yeah, Kmart's still a thing over here, man. It's actually pretty big over here, to be honest.
I remember the Commodores.
Yeah, we got Kmart, Target. What else do we have? Big W.
Big W?
Yeah, the logo of that is literally a big blue W.
It's...
it's like an upside down McDonald's symbol, but in blue.
If you combine Woolworths and Big W, you'd get Walmart. But
Basically.
Woolworths is the grocery part and Big W is the rest of the stuff.
I see. Out of interest, can you guys hear Neil?
I just did.
I just heard him yell then, yeah.
Yeah, he's annoyed with me because he can't go outside. I'm rude enough to not allow him to jump out of a second story window. A happy bunny.
Okay.
No, I had no idea that you guys had started to broadcast Thursdays. It's nice. I actually get to see something happen on GT Sport because the league that I race, or usually raced in from this side of the pond, they moved to Thursday evenings, mostly because a lot of us were suddenly busy at weekends, including myself. And then I became busy on Thursday evenings as well, so that went about as well as you'd expect. I'm just going to go and make sure that Neil's not trying to base jump out of the apartment.
I believe Mr. It's Racing needs to drag Shane in, because I don't think I
Yep, I've got Shane added into
Ain't no party like a Kenty party.
I think I might take a back seat for this one, considering we've got 4 of us now.
Sounds like I'll be with you there, It's.
As I'm sure Adam will do majority of the talking.
Sounds good to
Don't
me.
have to. I don't want to dominate.
You do have the knack for it a lot more than what myself and DJ do, and I think Kenty will probably talk a bit as well, so I'm definitely happy to just control what everyone sees.
You're muted.
Going
Shane.
TV director on us, lads. Mario has taken my approach from TS2 to livery making. Oh gosh, I haven't got a livery 15 minutes before the race approach.
It's not unmuting himself, which is weird.
Me?
No.
Oh, Kenty.
Yeah, Kenty.
Huh.
I'll just double check the permissions. That might be a problem on my end.
Fan on, it's too warm in here.
Everything should be alright.
Oh, I think Mountain Goat might have missed his breaking point there.
Alright, looks like we're heading into qualifying here.
Okay, interesting. So, 10-minute qualifying session for this combined grid. Forces of 3 different lobbies, all together as one. And PX7 Twitchy, it was who took the win in the Pro Class race that we saw just a few moments ago, and he comes out behind Deadpool. Now, if Deadpool gets a good lap in, we'd expect him to be right there up the front with Twitchy. We'll see how the guys from the other servers, the other lobbies, stack up against the drivers we've already seen here today. Deadpool allowing Twitchy through. Maybe he wants a little bit of that MotoGP style tow. Apartment blocks there in the background here at Sao Paulo. That would be an ideal place to live, would it not? looking over Interlagos, as always, seemingly. I don't know what it is about the property market over in Bathurst, but there always seems to be at least one building for sale adjacent to the circuit, so the Aussie equivalent still, I believe, on the market if you're interested in overlooking a circuit.
Yeah, I think there's always property at Bathurst, and probably goes for a pretty penny, I'd say. And I'm going to say one place I would love to own a house would be next to the Imola track.
Yes, I'm looking at moving near Castle Donington because everything's dirt cheap there, because not only do you have the Donington Park circuit, but you've also got East Midlands Airport. So between the jumbo jets taking off with DHL packages and the circuit, a lot of people don't like it, but I've never really noticed the planes when I've been there, and obviously the circuit doesn't bother me. So then, A.E. McEwen in car number 3.
I just want to quickly point out that's a Logitech Altus Esports livery there, so obviously representing one of the more known sim racing teams to come out of Australia.
Okay, that's cool. It is a nice livery. And he's leading a big old pack of cars there. Runs it a bit deep and wide into that corner. ASR Atten Diswood following his wheel tracks, as well as the Mountain Goat running in 4th in the queue. Gaban's just behind them, then Twitchy and Deadpool. So we'll see all of these guys across the line. It's a lot of very fast drivers, some very intriguing talents that are not so commonly seen in Trackstar's main series competition on the Sundays. So then that top 4, the first 4 cars out of pit lane, coming across the line to complete the first flying lap now. Will it be McEwen who sets the benchmark, or one of those in his tow? Across the line goes the number 3 car. The times are 29.7. Best lap of 29.5 from Diswood. What about Twitchy and Deadpool? Where do they end up? 4th for Twitchy. Deadpool only down in 6th on the first qualifying lap. 7/10 splitting them. So that is a good showing. And 12th place Gaban's only 2 seconds off. There goes Magical Wax across the line. The car that was racing with Gaban's in the Elite Series class. And Spud into pit lane. That's interesting. So what's going on there with Spud? That he's come in. Did he obtain some damage?
He would have been burning some fuel there just so he can get some bit lighter and then chuck some tires on. Looks like Kenty's unmuted himself here. Managed to. He just needs to set his audio, audio to be his headset.
Oh, he's left. No, he's back.
He's back. But
the Kenty saga
the Kenty saga does continue, but A.E. McEwen is definitely one to watch out for. I know I've raced against him in a couple of open lobbies, and he's significantly faster. That man can pull times out of his that I've never seen before. So there'll be one to watch on this.
All into the pits.
Do they follow each other into the pits? Yeah,
looks like they all did.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised by that. I don't. They should be able to just back out, but then they burn the fuel. I guess that's why they're staying in the lobby or in the on the circuit rather than backing out and hopping back onto track.
You've got push to talk on there, can't you? So I believe Jarman is the something to do with that. Settings of him, or I'm not really sure. Works of Discord is a lot confusing. There we go. We can see green coming around him now.
Hello.
There we
Empty.
go. There we go.
Finally. Fucking hell, what an ordeal. My chat's going mental at me because I'm fucking trying to work this out. Can you turn them up? Can you hear them? Are they loud enough? Thank the Lord, Gravestone says. Fucking hell. I didn't miss that much. You guys are fucking having a cry like it's the end of the world here.
The Trackstar series, mate. It is the end of the world.
Oh my god. Push 11.
Or is it
push
the beginning
F11
of a new
when
one?
you spectate. What am I pushing F11 for?
Gets rid of the time in the middle of the screen. you have a keyboard? Put it on your keyboard plugged in. Push F11.
Yeah.
There you go. Gets rid of the time in the middle.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Sweet
time
as.
in the middle's part of the fun. Get to see what the splits are.
Are you watching my stream or are you watching? I'm watching the Discord call.
I've got a bunch of streams open. I've got 3 windows open on my second
I've just
monitor.
got whatever It's is providing.
I'm trying to find.
Yeah, I'm just literally watching. I hope It's is taking over the I hope It's is taking over the who we're watching because I'm watching what It's is seeing. I've literally disabled my capture device.
It's is playing TV director here. Gabans
Cool.
is hampered by a penalty there, so he's run off the circuit in his attempts to move further up the order. Spud just starting his first flying lap after coming into the pit lane on his fuel burn mission. And just ahead of him, I think, is a good quantity of very fast cars. Yes, indeed, we saw there Deadpool, Mountain Goat among them as they headed into the second braking zone for the lap. Spud then, with a little bit of clear track, he's had Mario get out of the way there.
It's nice to see that the drivers are giving each other room there, not hindering on each other's qualifying times. And obviously Diswood was the one that favoured out of all that. So that slipstream there that put him so far on pole with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go.
So then, Spud just heading into the braking zone for Junkao now. Last proper corner on the lap. It's not quite straight until you get close to the start-finish line, but of course it's all flat out running from this point onwards. Spud, with a little bit of a flash of the headlights there. Twitchy just ahead of him. I think those guys have hampered each other up ahead. There goes Spud. It's only a 30.5, but it's only good enough for the very back of the grid. So Spud here, he's out of time. He's out of time. He's not going to be able to get around to do another lap. He's going to be starting all the way from the back. And McEwen, with a 29.488, is the pace setter in this one, unless anyone has something in the offing on this final tour.
We
but
got
of course,
got Adam in his toe.
Yeah, so ASR Atom, he's 4th at the moment. Deadpool in 7th and Mountain Goat in 6th, just behind as well. Diswood in 2nd place, the first of those that we saw in the pro lobby just before this amalgamated session. McEwen there runs it wide, Atom behind. Of course, the tyre wear isn't so spectacular, so there is the option for them to get another lap in here. The tyres shouldn't have fallen off the cliff enough to invalidate any further qualifying laps, and these two and a few of the others behind will get one more flyer. They're going to break the timing beam for another lap should they choose to use it. McEwen then towing Atom around, the number 12 and the number 3 running up to the flag. Let's see what times they put in.
Surely Adam goes to 2nd.
No, 8/10 off.
Sweet.
This top 6 is
Right,
separated
there
by
you go.
not even half a second. It is crazy close.
Holy shit. What a stacked lobby. How fucking crazy is this?
Look at these time differences.
You
They're
go
just-
from go
Oh.
to nothing, hey. Yeah, let's go back to the first second. The first second is 10th. First to second is 1.03 second. That's insane.
Oh, Spud on another attempt has again spoiled the lap. He's run it wide there onto the AstroTurf. He's got himself a half-second penalty. Spud down in 12th place, and that is where he will stay. That's quite a blow to Spud for this race. McEwen running it out of the onto the curbs there. I love these big wide curves here at Interlagos. They just tempt you to use them that little bit more, but they can bite at certain areas as well, so you do have to be careful. McEwen running towards Junkao again.
Actually, what
Just clips the
I
dirt.
know what I need to do.
Atom runs it wide. Let's see if either of them improve. Diswood is there behind them in second place as well. He hasn't got a toe, but maybe the clear track is a help rather than a hindrance. Let's see the time across the line then. Is it going to be an improvement? No, it is not. Atom doesn't improve either. Diswood isn't any quicker either. Looks like everyone really put all of their cards on the table in the very early going there. Or in the case of drivers like Spud, they kind of dropped their cards before they could even put them on the table, unfortunately.
Hainsey might have to bail early. You don't want to start 11th, Hainsey.
Ainsley's not used to starting out of the double digits, mate. He's always usually first to fifth. 1.9 seconds separates the field.
So this is going to be a very exciting motor race then. Front row, it's a clash between the two lobbies. It's the number 3 McEwen, Diswood, then it's TX3 and ASR Atom third and fourth, Twitchy and Mountain Goats on at the third row of the grid. Then we have Deadpool and PX7 Tezza rounding out the top 8. So then off the standing start, we're about to go racing. Let's see who gets the best jump. These Group 3 cars, not necessarily designed for standing starts, were off the line. I think McEwen got a slightly worse start than Diswood there. Diswood looking to the outside, then to the inside. Doesn't quite make a move. He's followed by RB26, Twitchy, and then Atom rounding out the top 5. Mountain Goat runs it a bit wide there, coming out of the Center S in 6th position, but it is McEwen that leads the way down into the second braking zone for the first time, the Largo section of the circuit. And Diswood, well, he's challenging around the outside. He's got to be careful not to end up on the Astro there. He stays out of it, but that first 5 has already kind of broken a little bit free of 6th place Mountain Goat, who got a bad run onto the off the Center S.
It's a nice battle that's looking on here, and if McEwen's not careful, he might be swamped by one of these guys. It's really, really close.
Absolutely is. So then they head through Pico de Pato now, on towards Juncao for the first time.
That's about as of a tongue twister as Bjorn's Borg's undies, mate. That's
yes, I'm now in proper commentary spec. I've got the track map in front of me. And it is McEwen with a couple of car lengths there. Diswood's still kind of jigging around on the main straight. He's still trying to put some heat through his tyres. He's got Twitchy, who's all the way up to third place from the third row of the grid. So Twitchy had a really good first lap there. He managed to get past RB26 and Atom. Mountain Goat in 6th, and actually dropping way out of the order is Deadpool. Deadpool's out of the top 8. He started in, P7. He's down in 12th now, so Deadpool has had a mare of a first lap, and he's down behind Magical Wax, who of course came from the Elite race.
We've got some talking here in the YouTube saying that I'm sure that McEwen went to the GT World. I'm not doubting it at all. That man is really fast, and I know, Deadpool here having a tag on Magical Wax. Might be some latency here.
Oh dear, yes, I think something's amiss there. Unless Magical Wax really did just try and turn in on him there. Coming into the last bit, there was a few instances of contact between them. Diswood starting to look a bit like the cork in the bottle here, isn't he? Because he's got Twitchy and TX3 just behind him. And those two are looking particularly racy. Diswood there going a bit wide, coming out of Juncao. We'll see whether or not he can hold on to this second place, because he's got Twitchy in his slip. He's got RB26 as well. Or I think Twitchy tried to move to the inside there, but Diswood said, nope, I'm taking that line. Twitchy looks to the outside then, RB26 all the way to the outside. Still side by side between Twitchy and RB26, but RB26 backs out of it. Atom and Mountain Goat 5th and 6th position. Some excellent racing here for 2nd through 6th place. And at the moment, Diswood has just a couple of car lengths afforded to him, but that's not going to be the case for very long. Okay. So then, Wood through the fast sweeping double apex right-hander. So easy to focus too much on the first apex and get the second one wrong. They're all grass tracking it there, heading into the long sequence of S-bends here at Interlagos. Of course, the Interlagos circuit in current configuration effectively lost at least a third of itself somewhere there in the 1970s. It was a much longer circuit for quite a period of time, a much more compact circuit, but that also meant almost no runoff, so I think safety more than anything. A big part of the reason why we have the current configuration. It's short, sharp and fast. This Wood still leading the train. We follow from Mountain Goat's point of view. He's got a little bit of a gap, 1.3 seconds over 7th place Tazar, so he can focus on what's going on ahead of him. And well, what's going on ahead of him is an absolutely wonderful scrap up the inside. Oh, that's Dis Wood just holding on to the inside line, but he's got Twitchy beside him as they head through the Curva do Sol. Oh, it's going to be very close between Diswood and Twitchy. In fact, RB26 has inserted himself into that one as well with a great run off the center S. RB26 to the outside, Diswood to the inside. It's going to be quite the move from RB26 if he can hold on all the way through the outside. Diswood gives him the space, gentlemanly driving between the two of them. Twitchy still there as well. RB26 not quite alongside Diswood anymore, but he might still dive to the inside. No, Wood covers it off. Brilliant defending from Diswood. Mountain Goat's attacking Atom further back as well and is through into 5th place. So the orange and black Porsche of the Mountain Goat climbing up the order. Diswood in the 66 under immense pressure from RB26, and this is absolutely fabulous motor racing that we're witnessing here at Interlagos.
Yeah, I'd hate to be Woodsy right now, but as we can see, McEwen's got a 2.2 second lead out of the front. But Woodsy has that much pressure from those 4 cars behind him. He's holding on really well to keep that position alive, especially being on a hand controller.
Yep, always amazes me when I hear who of the Trackstars bunch is on a controller. Speaking of controller drivers, Spud is up into 8th place, so he's recovering from his poor qualifying, but nonetheless, Wood and RB26, they're side by side. Wood sternly taking the inside at every given opportunity, but I think he might have got a slight tap from behind there, and that's allowed Twitchy through into 2nd place. RB26 still behind Diswood, but it's Twitchy who's broken free of the pack, or has he? We'll have to see. Mountain Goat there rubbing fenders with ASR Atom as well, so this is absolutely nail-biting stuff. Paint being exchanged as if we're in the Dulux shop, and Diswood runs it wide. ASR Atom alongside him as well, and he's got a half-second penalty now too. That's unfortunate for Diswood. That's what happens, especially if you're putting on a defensive drive of that caliber. The first chink in the armour, the first car through, and suddenly the floodgates are open. He's all the way down to 5th place, and Mountain Goat's back down to 6th as well. Tezar is suddenly in the queue as well, as is the entire top 10 more or less. It's now 2nd down to about 9th or 10th place in one long queue. We're not even halfway through this final race for the Porsche Super Cup. And wow, this could go any which way. But Twitchy has, as we said, burst his way through the floodgates and is into 2nd position.
Yeah, this is incredible to watch. And just going back to that first corner there, I think Woodsy did get a tap from behind from Twitchy there. He just tucked in behind as he was trying to defend from RB, and then he got tagged there, and then we all know Woodsy is an aggressive driver. He must have pushed it that a little bit too far and then copped that penalty there.
Nothing about his demeanour on the Discord would suggest that he was aggressive at all. The Spud through the centre S and into the Curva do Sol. Runs it a little bit wide there. He'll be happy to be back up to 8th place, but he's going to want to try and break his way through into the top 6, maybe the top 5 here to preserve his championship aspirations. Some battling going on there between Tezar and Mountain Goat. Mountain Goat trying to hold on to the 6th place, and Spud with a wheel on the AstroTurf there. That nearly sent him for a loop down into the Shadow Realm. Hainsey there in 9th place. He's up from 11th as well. Deadpool's recovery might stall out at 10th place. He's got 6 more laps to try and close in on this train of cars. But Deadpool, of course, who started poorly, still down there in 10th place. So then, Twitchy he'll have aspirations of maybe trying to close in on McEwen, but 2.8 seconds, 2.9 seconds the gap between McEwen and Twitchy, so maybe that's a bridge too far. And of course Twitchy's issue is that he's having to defend much more than attack with RB26 in the mirrors. Now, is RB going to play the long game here and maybe just leave it a few laps and see if the pack can close in on McEwen, or is he going to have an attack into the Senna S? The Senna S will tell all of the tales here as to RB26's attitude. He does not dive to the inside line, nor does ASR Atom, but he was too far back. So I think that this pack of cars is maybe galvanising here in second, third and fourth place, and they might be trying to follow Twitchy to a fight for the lead.
This is some incredible stuff to watch as he goes purple there in the first sector, so you never know. He may close his gap down with, what's that, 6 laps to go, 5 laps to go.
Yeah, 5 laps left on the board. And a little bit of change in the back pocket as well. So then, RB26 and Atom third and fourth. Then it's Diswood in fifth, who still has a pen, or maybe that's a new pen. He's may have got himself another. Tazar and Spud. Spud's on the attack. He's managed to gain seventh. He's maybe able to gain sixth here, all the way around the outside of Tazar. A little bit of fender on fender, and Spud is through into sixth position. So Spud still on the recovery drive here. He's going to be under threat as they head out of Junkao and back up to the start-finish line. We grant you that. However, Spud up to 6th place from starting on 12th is really good going, and I think Mountain Goat may have made an error there because he's down in 9th, and an error also for Tazar. That puts him with a half-second penalty, but he also lost a bunch of time. The penalty absolutely not justified in that instance because he lost himself time and didn't really have anywhere to go. Nonetheless, he has to burn the penalty, so that's going to put Mountain Goat through into 8th. And Deadpool is rounding the outside for 9th as they go through the Senna S. Some fender on fender once again. And Deadpool trying to move his way back up into the top 10. He's into 10th place, but he wants to move further through the field. He's got Old Timer behind him as well, unless we forget just how close this grid was on qualifying lap time. So if you give even the whiff of an opportunity, the driver behind is more than likely going to take it. Looks like we've got side by side still between Spud and Hainsey. Hainsey up to 7th place, so the 6th row of the grid was Hainsey in 11th and Spud in 12th, and now they're up to 6th and 7th. They've carved their way through the order rather nicely, haven't they?
Yeah, it's nice to see Spud slowly moving through the field. He's obviously matched with a lot of fast drives he's probably not used to, but it's good to see that they're slowly starting to make their way up, and it would have been nice if we could see good old Jarman out there on the field, but obviously, as we know before, he's starting to slowly step back and start to do kind of more managerial things. But we have a lot more fast people to come through the ranks, and as we see, a lot of people holding onto their penalties there.
It's funny how complimentary a driver becomes once you send them a trophy in the post, isn't it? It's
You be quiet. That trophy sitting nice on my cabinet.
Absolutely. Blue Moon Bay 500 winner disappointed here with us. Hainsey and Mountain Goat 7th and 8th place. Mountain Goat's back up into P8 then. He was down in 9th. He's got past Tazar and he's now targeting the back of Hainsey as they go into the Largo section. Tazar having to defend from Deadpool further back as well. Looks like Deadpool might have a decent run uphill here in the battle for 9th position. But Hainsey just able to cover off Mountain Goat. He's flashing the headlights, the young Charger. I think getting a little bit agitated in the seat of his car. The battle for 2nd place I don't think is closing in either on McEwen particularly. I think maybe soon they might start fighting in amongst themselves again, because McEwen, as decorated as he is not one to fall back into the clutches of a pack. And what a pack it is for 9th place down. We just saw a glimpse of them. It's still 2.7 seconds, as it was last time we saw them, between Twitchy, RB26 and Atom. So I think that the forward momentum that was there has stunted, and these three are going to squabble again very shortly. Let's see if it's this time down in toward the Center S, into the first corner of the lap. No, RB26 still tucks in behind PX7 Twitchy, but surely, certainly by the time we get to the last lap, it's going to become a battle royal for second place. Deadpool is through into 9th now, so he managed to get the move done on Tazar. He's leading the pack of 4, fighting for 9th place. We've got DP Mario in amongst it there as well. But Poole trying to recover from a poor qualifying session in car number 28. Well, he didn't have a terribly bad qualifying session, actually, to correct myself, but he just had a mare of a first lap. And up the inside was Hainsey there for 7th place. He was, of course, just defending from Mountain Goat once again. Mountain Goat still pressurising the PLE driver with the Elite Brake and Mechanical banner on the front of the car as well. So he's wearing some familiar logos to the Trackstars crews. And, a little bit of quarter panel to quarter panel kiss up there between Mountain Goat and Hainsey. A little more as well, kind of helping him away from the apex a little bit there is Mountain Goat. I have seen some very rough Porsche races over the years. The Porsche Carrera Cup Great Britain, supporting the British Touring Car package, and they do sometimes steal a few moves from the British Touring Car Championship proper. So it's not the first time I've seen Porsches hitting the fenders, and of course here in the real world you don't have to hit up the spares department when it all goes horribly wrong. Looks as though Tazar ran it a bit wide there, so he's fallen off the back of Deadpool. He's into the barriers, in fact. Just saw that in the background. Tazar spins off into the barriers. Meanwhile, TX3 RB26 is through into 2nd place. Atom has also got by, so Twitchy has been demoted to 4th place. So it's finally happened. The dam has been broken, and PX7 Twitchy is now going to have to fight his way back onto the podium. All happening here. Just looking back to DP Mario and Tazar. What happened here with Tazar? That was very odd. Just ended up on the grass there and scraping the wall. Had a bad run out of Junkao and seemingly never recovered. So this is the penultimate lap of the motor race as they head through the S's here. Now RB26 it is in 2nd place, but of course this is the section of circuit where that will come under threat. Atom and Twitchy there, 3rd and 4th position. Twitchy will want to be there in the podium spots if he possibly can. He hasn't had a good run there out of Junkao, just had to correct it, and that's so easily done. There is some very inviting runoff there, but it does very quickly become slippery grass if you put it half an inch too far to the right out of the corner. Atom looking to the outside as they go under the Pirelli bridge and into the Senna S. And it's still side by side. Atom's got the inside line, a bit of side-on-side contact. RB26 still with the nose ahead, but there goes Twitchy. He's through the middle. RB26 with a half-second penalty. There's going to be some discussion about that incident, I think, between Atom and RB26, but both of them have now netted half-second penalties. So Twitchy through into 2nd place, and I think he's going to be in the clear. Well, that was some interesting racing between Atom and RB26. But Twitchy, the main benefactor there, he timed that one perfectly, didn't he?
Yeah, that was some incredible stuff that just happened there. That was somewhere where I never thought I'd see 3 wide, but it looks like Twitchy might have that 2nd place down pat, and then we've got to see if Adam burns his penalty off, otherwise RB will just zoom past him.
Absolutely. Diswood with a penalty, which is unfortunate because he's going to have to burn that off, and that means he can't challenge RB26. We have yellow flags there briefly. Not sure what happened to cause that, but McEwen with a comfortable lead at the front of the order. It's extended out to 4.9 seconds from 2.7 while everyone else fought behind. So McEwen running to an easy win here. Running the Logitech livery as we flagged at the beginning and across the line to take the win. Twitchy is going to take 2nd place, and then who's going to get 3rd? It's going to be Atom, or is it? Because he has to burn the pen. No, RB26 through into 3rd place ahead of Atom, Diswood and Enspud Round out the top half dozen, Hainsey is just going to hold on to 7th place despite the advances of Mountain Goat. Deadpool across the line for 9th place. Rounding out the top 10 was DP Mario and Old Timer. Magical Wax and Gabans, they were in the same battle that they were in the elite race, and in fact they finished in the same order as well. So Magical Wax and Gabans 12th and 13th. Then we didn't really see the end of the race for Tazar, who had that issue, but deserved win there from McEwen, who put on an absolute masterclass from the front of the grid, led it from the start and never looked back.
Yeah, he's certainly making a name for himself. That not that he needs to, that he's already got one, but it's good to see these guys coming through, and they're definitely some to watch out for next race.
Absolutely. So that was our finale for the Trackstars Porsche Cup, the big final. We had the combination of all. We had a combination of all three servers and made for some excellent racing. We seem to lose you there largely, Kenty, but that was an excellent little motor race. Oh, he's already left.
He's already left. No, that was good to see the combination of the PLE, obviously PLA and Esports running their own league, stuff like that, and obviously me driving for them in the Trackstars League, and then the Trackstars to Pro Lobby and Elite Lobby coming together for the end of that, and putting on definitely a good show with the times being so close together, and it was definitely one to watch.
Definitely the case. Kenty's back in now. You having some issues there, buddy? Evidently so.
Internet and Discord isn't cooperating properly.
Oh dear. But yeah, absolutely excellent race. We saw them so close together on qualifying pace. We saw some drivers further down than we expected. And then, of course, they all split off into battles as the race goes on. But McEwen, acting as a loner there, disappears off to the front of the order. And we saw right at the end there the battle between Twitchy RB26 and Atom going great guns. Woody nearly managed to close in and get involved at the end. I think if maybe it had been a couple more laps of racing, we would have seen Diswood maybe challenging for the podium positions. Spud, Hainsey and Mountain Goat 6th, 7th and 8th from Deadpool in at P9, and DP Mario, Old Timer and Magical Wax, the last of the drivers that saw the checkered flag just behind him, was Gabans, and then of course Tazar with his moment, very odd moment on the exit of Junkao. He ultimately did finish a lap down, or is registered as finishing a lap down, but I don't think he actually managed to see the checkered flag. But the Porsche Super Cup then, providing excellent racing once more. I'm not going to sign off the broadcast because I wasn't here at the beginning, so whether it's up to Pointed or up to its racing, that's between the two of you. But thanks for having me on impromptu basis. Great racing, quite something to witness on a Thursday morning, or indeed a Thursday evening.
No, it was definitely a pleasure to have you join us in the commentary box for tonight's races, and I think we got a bit of a bonus race there as well, and it certainly didn't disappoint.
I feel a pun coming on there, John.
No pun intended. It's
No,
not always about you.
it's not always about me, but it's a bit hard when my name comes into a lot of conversations, just like then. But no, it was good races to watch. These guys are really, really quick, and it's certainly different on the other side of the screen, as I've said earlier.
No, that's definitely right, and yeah, some great racing tonight amongst everyone, and of course the all-in group battle. So, any final thoughts from either of you guys before we leave?
I'll just say thank you for having me along. Next weekend, as you know, Jarman, I am free, so whatever's going on, tap me for that. But great to see the Thursdays. Hopefully I can be a little more actively involved if you guys start to broadcast the Thursday races, because Thursday mornings, Not that I don't have much of a life or anything going on outside of race weekends, but I'm not usually doing anything, so hope to be more involved with the Track Stars guys. But excellent racing from everyone. Good to see some of these new guys from outside of the normal Track Stars sphere entering and doing so well, so congratulations to everybody, and I look forward to seeing more of you guys racing in our other series, hopefully, in the coming weeks, months and years.
Yeah, it's good to have you joining again. It was definitely we've missed you, but we've had a couple of other people jump in the comms box, and it's been good to have a different amount of people. And you never know, you might chuck the stream on when you're commentating out at Snetterton or Brands Hatch or whatever, and put the Track Stars name out there.
I'd probably get told off, but I'd give it my best.
No, it was a good night of racing, good to watch, and good company.
Alright, so from myself, Jarman Dallitz, and of course Adam Weller and Ryan Palmer, also known as Disappointed, it's a good night from all of us here at Track Stars, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday night, where we'll go racing again at Interlagos for the Track Stars Formula 2 series and of course the Formula Track Stars Brazilian